Shalom, shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, man. Um, let's see. Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the most high God, and Yahushai is who the world innately calls Jesus the Christ, the Rakakwadash, and the Palo Hebrew is the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors to my teachers and great millstones, starting with Elder Tahar, on down from the apostles, from the elder bishops, and the elder prophets of Great Millstone, who've been bringing forth 100% of the Most High's doctrine to the best of their ability through the Rakak Wadash, regardless if you accept it or not. And mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word, believing this word, Lord willing, it is put on your heart to endure and be sincere for the Most High's ministry. Shalom to the Aquathium that are believers of His word, Lord willing, you can continue in your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife, married or not. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Um, a beautiful day to be an Israelite. But like the elder apostle said, man, we gotta continue to put our foot on the gas, keep feeding. You know, I was listening to the brother Asher. Was giving me that motivation, and the captain, he was doing his read through Second Esdras. So I'm reading through Psalms 55. But first, I wanted to bring this out. This was all through the Spirit. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 35, starting at verse 1, but I'm going to just deal verse 3. Verse 1, it says, He that keepeth the law bringeth offerings enough, and he that taketh heed of the commandment offereth a peace offering, and he that requiteth a good turn offereth fine flour, he that giveth alms sacrificeth praise. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to Yahweh Shema Shai, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. Salaki. Let's even get it in the NL, the GNT, right? Um, that was Sirach 35 in verse 3. This is what it says in the GNT. It says, keeping away from sin will please the Lord and make atonement for sins, which is a fact, right? And right, that's the propitiation, is the atonement for sins. So when you depart from wickedness, that is a thing pleasing to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. But what's the notion of this ministry? Keeping away from them things that's displeasing to the Lord. Keeping away from the things that's pleasing to the Lord. And when you go into Psalms, it goes into multiple things. It goes into the plea, of the fearful, a plea for revenge, a betrayal by a friend, and trust in the Lord. Plea for the fearful. Now, I can't really give you the etymology of the word plea. It's just like somebody pleading for their life. Somebody, man, please, don't do this, man. I got kids. We gotta plead. The men of the Lord have to plead for the elect. The plea of the fearful, right? So let's get into it. Psalms 55 verse 1, it says, give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplication. We don't want the Lord to hide from our complaints. Verse 2, it says, attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make a noise because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me, and in the wrath they hate me, right? Iniquity was put upon us in the Greek captivity. They was forcing us to commit a sin. And some of us was like, man, what the hell with that, man? I'd rather die. We'd be put to death. Every time when you know that you're an Israelite, you come to the realization you are in captivity. You come to the realization you are in the hands of your enemies. This is not a chill powwow. Damn near everything we freaking do is us spending money and giving it back to the nation. You go to a restaurant, you giving back to the nation. You want to do matching colors. You let's do date night. All these other things that come from this world, the things that we seen people doing. Us tapping into the scriptures, us doing feast days, having your wife be more covering, hiding, being more shamefaced. That a woman's supposed to be uh uh um melting in her socks to see how a man will utter you to cover his possession. Your cleavage, your butt, your tits. For a man, that right there shows love. That shows he cares for you when he telling you to cover your ass up. Oh, babe, it's better for you to be in the house. Be shamefaced. What you need outside, you know? Teaching a woman that she should really be asking, can she go somewhere? And if you say no, it's not, oh dear. You know? This place makes, yeah, I'm telling you, when you're not in the truth, I don't know how these people is not like getting angry. But every situation in this place when you come in the truth is a learning example. When you work, you're through the spirit, you learning that every day you must prepare for work. I know I gotta come back to work tomorrow. I must prepare. Oh, I got a lunch. What I'm gonna be thinking, what I'm gonna be listening to before work. You know, we're serving the Lord. What's the deeper? So when I come to work, I'm thinking about this work, but while I'm thinking about work, I gotta be thinking about the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The more I work on this, I'm making my enemies mad. And this is the best thing to do because it says, because of the voice of my enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. We are in oppression. Your wife saying, "Oh, I didn't get EBTs today," or "I got my EBTs." Hey, that's a good thing, but that still smack you in your face that you are under the hands of your enemies. You got money in your pocket. You just see this. You see this mother sucker on your dollar. It just make you mad at this mother sucker. Looking at the credit cards, every time you see this super scripture, especially if you in the spirit, right? If you're in the spirit, you like is this YouTube channel where they say I think it's called the the deep conscious the deep conscious. It's something where they talk about, man, people don't even know that this is the matrix, but they're not even talking about thus saith the Lord. It sounds good, but they ain't talking about thus saith the Lord. Getting out the matrix is coming back to the knowledge of the Lord. Not the knowledge of this place, not the knowledge of science, not the knowledge of all beliefs, not that spiritual feeling. The real spiritual of Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai is going to have you learning on a deeper level. We must know who our enemies is, right? And that just goes back to history because this psalm is a psalm of David, you know? So I'll just go to 2 Samuel, the 16th chapter. 2 Samuel. Second Samuel, the 16th chapter, and I believe I'm reading 7 and 8. So this is 2 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7 and 8. Right? It says, and thus, because this is going into David cursed by Shimei. So thus saith Shimei, when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, thou man of Beel. Yahweh have returned upon thee all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reigned. And Yahweh have delivered the kingdom into the hand of Abasal thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. Right? And then when you keep on going, it's David refuses to kill Shimei. Right? If you start let me start at verse 6, verse 5. It says, and when King David came to Baharem, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei the son of Gera. And he came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David, and all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on the left. Right? So when you really go into that even more, I'm always player. Let's because you remember, if y'all was following along, later on Saul actually died. Saul was actually killed, right? Um, let's read verse 6 again in the NLT. It says, he threw stones at the king and the king's officer and all the mighty warriors who surrounded him. Get out of here, you murderer, you scoundrel, he shouted at David. Yahweh is paying you back for all the bloodshed in Saul's clan. You stole his throne, and now Yahweh has given it to your son Abisal. At last you will taste some of your own medicine, for you are a murderer. Right? And technically that's not really the Lord, because really when later on David gets the kingdom. So if the Lord was really mad, David would have been killed, and David didn't kill Saul. Saul killed his own self, and his son, he died by an arrow. When you go back to Psalms 55, it says because David was mourning, and he told the Lord, man, hear my voice. And because the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked, for they cast iniquity upon me in wrath, they hate me. They was hating David, man. You gotta follow the whole story, even from 1 Samuel, the 16th chapter. That evil, the righteous spirit left Saul, and the evil spirit filled Saul, and now he had a evil or an angry eye towards David. But that was all Saul in his heart reaping what he sowed, because he didn't listen to the command that the Lord had given him to kill all the Amalekites. So what fell on Saul, it was just you reap what you sow. But this just shows you in Israel is always a righteous standing tall, and it would be an unrighteous going against him. If Saul's son understood what Saul did, he walked away from the commands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And that's still, you got homies out here. You might have a righteous friend and an unrighteous friend. Depending on where his heart is, he might cleave to the unrighteous. If his heart is cleaving to the righteous, he'll cleave to the righteous. What happened to Jonathan? Jonathan chose David over his father. His father kept coming, you gonna choose him over me? But then later on, Jonathan had to go, because Jonathan still loved his father. He still have honor on his father, but he still believed in the Lord. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. But Jonathan left right beside his father. So that's why we want the Lord to hear our voice. Lately, I've been asking the Lord not to let our enemies to triumph over us anymore. I'm tired of this place. Now verse 4, it says, my heart is sore, pain within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror have overwhelmed me. And I said, oh, that I had wings like a dove. You see, and that brings us back to the video I did in my old page. What's the Lord's favorite fowl of the air? A dove, right? So David said, oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. And then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Right? That's just talking about the being tried. David is just being tried. He's getting tried from the left and right. Saul, and then after Saul is gone, you might think shit is complete, and he's still getting attacked. Especially David was a humble servant of the Lord, right? So that's right there is a plea of the fearful. Are you really pleading to the Lord? When you praying, I'm trying to beg the Lord for the elect to rise up, for the women to cover their ass up. Lord willing, the minute of the Lord, women start approaching you. I'm praying that women start approaching. I want to get out of here. And what comes with that is some of these women not chasing what they want, but getting what they need. What they need is a man of the Lord. I want to get the hell up out of here. We need order. You know, we need people to start being scared of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And the elect is waking up. They're rising up, like Yahweh Shai is speaking to Lazarus. They're waking up. The dry bones is waking up to that song. You know. So now we going into the plea for revenge, because this is what we're praying. Lord, remember what they did to us. You know, save us from our enemies. The Lord is going to come back with great wrath, and vengeance is his. You know. Now verse 9, it says, destroy, O Yahweh, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Right? We have seen violence and strife in our city, and we have seen violence and strife in Babylon. Right? This Jeremiah, the 6th chapter, and reading, I'll start at verse 6. It says, for thus have Yahweh of hosts said, hew ye down trees and cast a mount against Jerusalem. This is a city to be visited. She is wildly oppressed in the midst of her. As a fountain casteth out her waters, so she casteth out her wickedness. Violence and spoil is heard in her. Before me continually is grief and wounds. Be thou instructed, O Jerusalem, lest thy soul depart from thee, lest I make thee desolate, a land not inhabited. Right? Wickedness was starting to fill the land of Israel. Bloodshed, brothers is killing, women, same sex. It's a lot of wickedness in our land. And just imagine us in Babylon. You know, we're participating in the Babylon festivities. You know, the arts and crafts. You know, Jake want to continue. Oh, I'm wearing the top name brand, and eventually they gonna have you wearing some weird ass shit. Then you might be you straight man, and then you got asses chaps on like the cowboys, but it's a fashion. You got men wearing, they're saying that it's unisex or is manly attire, but it's really female attire. In this place, we're gonna steep low because this is Babylon customs, the fashion, the music. Lil Nas X is being pushed to push that LG community, but it was his own mindset to say, hey, look, how can I reach the top? How can I be what I want to be? Before it's people talking, he was never like that. In order for him to come in the industry, he wanted to put a little sugar in his tank. And it's a video that surfaced, but they probably deleted, where he said he didn't want to act no more. He didn't want to do it no more. He was basically saying he was acting out being a vegetable. But it's okay. You signed up to be a VeggieTale, and now you got to fully play it, because when you sign up for Babylon, you must act like a Babylonian. You must act like a Gentile. You know, but the Lord didn't create us for that. And that's why we over here, and guess what? The biggest LGB 123 Sesame community parade is done in Israel. The biggest parade in the world is done in our homeland. And guess what? We deserve this. The prayer of Azariah from verse 4 to 9. He is righteous to his judgment. What he did to us, we deserve it. The Lord said he was going to do it he was going to penalize us 7 times more because of our sins. A completed number. And the Lord gave us in the hands of lawless people. And Esau is the top guy out of all these nations. This man will rub his butt and then shake your hand or rub your face and laugh and think y'all buddies. You know? Being over here in our land, we're not the best. You flashing money, we are lost niggas, bro. Full lost niggas. This is why we need to pray for that revenge. Plead to the Lord for revenge. Especially for you 2/3 that's not listening. I pray that you 2/3 know death by pain. Hey, if I don't get it, I'm with y'all too. I want the 2/3 to know that they fucking missed out on the right opportunity to come back to their power. You know, verse 10, it says, day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also, sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from their streets. Lying, conniving niggas is not departing from those cities, but as a collective, as a nation, lying, that lying spirit, that lazy spirit is not leaving us. I'm at work and I'm seeing The OG, he works good, but his son is not. I can multitask. I could be on my phone and all. This man can't be on his phone and do multiple things. Not a bad thing. It's just a simple fact. We're so distracted with video games. Women. None of us have women. We'll see a woman. We can't even focus. Oh, I gotta see what she's doing. I gotta be under her. I love being away from my women. Cause I get too comfortable. You get too comfortable. You feeling lavish. This person asking what you want. That person asking what you want. You could ask for breakfast for this one, then tell this one I want this for dinner. Hey, I want a dessert, but I want a midnight snack. You get comfortable with that shit. I'll be happy when I leave. Then it's more peace and quiet when I'm gone. I could think more. But I can still be me when I'm away from them and when I'm around. I still have discipline in myself. I got control. You know? But as soon as you get too comfortable, like it's women out here that touch you and you'll lose your damn mind. It's brothers that's putting that women before they met. You know what? It's Netflix time and y'all want to do camp. I can't do camp this Thursday. I'm not putting my women and my kids over the Lord. Let alone, even if I'm meditating, I'm not teaching. I'm not putting my wives and my kids over that because I'm thinking of the scriptures more than my family. My wives can't give me that fire, but they can motivate me. My brothers can, but if I can't reach my brothers or reach these brothers, I'm about to do it myself, and I'm gonna separate myself and talk to the Lord. A real woman is gonna get out the way. If that woman don't, if she know that you don't need her, you don't need to be stimulated sexually, you don't need to be stimulated physically, you don't need nothing to eat, guess what? She should clap and be like, wow, I did my job. He don't need me for nothing. If you don't need to be wanted, if you don't, somebody don't need her, you did a good job. Right there and then, you women should be a wow, I did good. But then you gotta know if the man don't need nothing, now you better pay attention to them kids. Because if your husband don't see you occupying them kids, or if them kids don't need nothing, you should be at least reading. Or if you're not reading, you should be watching a video, watching something that you learning. Because if you watching Love and Hip Hop, this shit that put spirits on you, then you're gonna be bringing that into your household. Oh, he did that with those sisters. Oh, he did this. Men of the Lord don't want to hear that. Because we're steady thinking about revenge, bro. Our people, man, I go outside and I see Jake asking for $1 24/7. I go to this gas station every time I leave work. Either they'll give me a Bud Light Lime or just go in there to go give me Boston baked beans. You'll have a OG with a cigarette right on. Hey, yo, brother, I want something to eat, but I'm trying to give me a pack of cigarettes, brother. Guess what? OG, I'm trying to ask you for $1. Brother, you look like you just came for work. I did. Well, I should be learning from you. I've been getting so bold. Why nobody asking me for wisdom? Where'd you come from? Why you always look like you intelligent, but you always asking me for $1? But then it's every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. I don't see nothing new. Guess what? I'm not giving money to a brother that's sitting at the liquor store, that's sitting at the gas station, the corner store. It's work to be done, you know. That right there, I gotta, just because of that, I gotta go pray to Yahweh Shema Shai. Please take us from this place. I hate seeing that, man. I hate seeing women on here talking about they coochie made a thousand, they coochie made 50,000. I want to get out of here. You know, brothers up here, we can't even get virgins, man. You got women that been touched by every person, and then when you deal with them, they got all these type of spirits on them because they was dating this brother. They bipolar. They got that manly spirit on them. They worried, oh, where you at? Who you with? Girl, you're solidified. And it's because of all these emotions and feelings that they was getting from all these men. You know, it's hard out here. This is why we need Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Every day we should be pleading to the Lord because every day you seeing shit that your people was in. Love and Hip Hop, Housewives, like we shouldn't even be seeing our sisters on these shows. And then most of these women is dating each other's men. 5 years later, she's dating him. 20 years later, he's dating her. All that shit is just showing you a clamorous, worldly ass female. We passing women around. Nobody's teaching knowledge. Nobody's saying, thus saith the Lord. That's why now everything that I'm watching, I watch with a spiritual eye. I have to be able to learn. Because if I'm not seeing learn, I turn it off. I watched Kung Fu Panda with my little man. I learned from that. I got something from it. But if I'm not learning, I get to see the bullshit. I get to see how my kids can be drained and my wives. When I see my kids just watching some dumb stuff on YouTube all day, and my kids don't try to enact that. They don't try to be, oh, let's teach other people how to do something, but they watching something, and I tell my kids, let's read. Oh, that turns me off. If you don't have a desire to hear the words of the Lord, don't say his name, bro. You know, the Lord called us for duty, you know. We should be pleading for the Lord for help. We should be pleading the Lord for revenge. We should be pleading the Lord to give us more wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Plead to the Lord to help us to believe more. Because we in this flesh, it weakens you down. We should be begging the Lord for mercy, begging the Lord to hope, to guide us to be the elect. How can you just be calm and just chill and not trying to be on fire for the Lord, but you want all and everything? You want the moon, but you ain't giving no time to the Lord. You niggas just think, let me just sit here, I'm gonna be the elect. Even for women that got husband, you gotta really know this man is doing it for you and them kids. That's why women's job is not like men. You really just sitting there. You really letting time go past. You not like the man. Your faith is lower. Your works is lower than the man. Most women is not really, you just look at how handsome he look. You not really in the spirit to know like this man is on a higher level. The Lord really called this man to really plead for our life. When you praying for us. You praying for the elect. You praying for the children. But when the man of the Lord praying and he a teacher, it's going to have way more hit to it. You know? This should inspire the kids to be in order more. This should inspire the kids to listen to their father and their mother more. This should inspire the wives to not be knick-knacking. This should be inspire the wives to be what a woman is, a female servant. If you not needed, guess what? Your heart is at ease. You did a good job. Be focused on pleading to the Lord, begging for the Lord. We need help. We need you. I cannot stand this freaking place, man. But I got to go back to this freaking work plantation. Lord willing, you can finish Psalms 55. And Lord willing, it edifies you. And you can get more precepts, you know, so that you can build on the lesson. To be edified is to be builded up. I was just trying to encourage you that, you know, we should be plea for the fearful, you know, for the ones that's already in here. And you should plead for the rest of the elect, you know. Plead for the revenge of the elect. You know, plead to the Lord. Please don't let our enemies triumph over us. Please, Lord, put a spirit on the men of the Lord when they go out to camp. Please put a spirit out on the men of the Lord today to do a sit down. You know, plead to the Lord to put a spirit on all the men of the Lord to teach every day. Plead to the Lord that your kids pay more attention, or plead to the Lord that wives show an example of a real wife in her. Plead to the Lord every day. Plead to the Lord. Plead to the Lord. Plead to the Lord. Say it one. Plead to the Lord. Shalom. Shalom. Yahweh speed.